So if we can just get everybody to have a seat, welcome to those who are coming in, and welcome to Ready, Set, Grow. Yeah, this is great. Thank you for being here. We're so happy to have everybody out. I can just feel the spirit in the room. It's lively, it's good. So I'm happy to be here with you. My name is Jason Deering. I'm the branch manager from Libro Credit Union, and I'm happy to kind of be your host for the night. I'm not going to talk long. We're going to get right into this. And once we get going, you're probably as excited as I am to hear about all these fantastic businesses that are going to be presenting tonight. So nights like tonight don't happen in thin air. There's a lot of partnerships that have gone together to make this thing happen. So I just want to recognize the Small Business Enterprise Center. So big shout out to them. We've got Mike, we've got Tara in here, we've got Sarah. So thank you for all of your work. We have some other great partners. Libro, we're a partner. We've got, thank you. We have Established Media, our boys right over here. Thank you. Marty Graydon and Braden. We have our online company as well. Where's Ian? Where's our online company? We have the St. Thomas and District Chamber of Commerce as well. And Van Pelt's Office Supplies. Where's the other Sarah? I see. Yay! There we go. And they don't also happen without support and funding from, I got to get this all right, guys, the Province of Ontario, Elgin County Economic Development, and the St. Thomas Economic Development Corporation through the Small Business Enterprise Center. So tonight, the winner is going to walk away with a fantastic package. If you don't know, it's $5,000 of cash. They are going to be receiving branding and marketing from Established Media, flexible office space in the atrium. If you've heard of this place, an awesome space here in town. We're very fortunate for that. A year of free banking from Libro, 1-year membership with the Chamber of Commerce, a print package from Van Pelt's, hosting for 1 year from our online company, and lots of support along the way to give their business a big hug and get it rolling with steam power. So each finalist is going to have 10 minutes to present, and it's going to be followed by 5 minutes of question and answer. And you'll notice on your chairs you have a little piece of paper. And we're going high tech, folks. We're going very high tech. So there's a website called Slido. And if you log into that, there's a little code. It's B119. You can actually put your question in online. And Sarah is going to be moderating that. And so when the presentation is done, I'll actually get a list of all the questions. And then I will be able to kind of ask the questions to the business owner. And that's kind of how we're going to do that. That code is also important. At the end of the night, we're going to open up a 10-minute window where voting happens. And so we are online. Hello to all of our online audience. We're happy that you're here as well. And we've got this crowd and everybody who's watching online. So everybody can vote. As long as you're watching it, we're going high tech today. So this is pretty cool, something new. And we thought, what a better way than to have the community vote for who they want to win. So you know what, this isn't a panel of us doing this thing. We thought they were going to flip the model tonight. So you're going to have your listening ears on for sure. So let me catch up where I am here. So I think we're going to get started. Why do I need to keep talking? So our first presentation is Anna Shire from Galaxy Customs. So Anna, please welcome.
Thank you very much, everyone. Good evening. My name is Anna Shire, as you've heard, and I am owner and founder of Galaxy Custom. We are a retro-styled product company that inspires to bring retro styles back, and we try to do it with sparkle and flair. As you can tell, I am part of the vintage community myself, and what gave it away? So this is not just a business for me. This is actually a lifestyle, and this is how I live. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about Galaxy Customs, and let's go through that now. So let's start off with our company profile. Our vision is to be an established Canadian rockabilly, vintage, pinup, whatever you want to call it, brand known for one-of-a-kind custom retro designs, and that they're handcrafted with excellent workmanship. Also, our slogan is out of this world, retro-inspired purses, accessories, and custom designs. So who is part of our team? Myself, of course. I have a BAS in Human Resources. I also am certified in automotive interior design and installation, and that is from the US, because unfortunately we don't have anything in Canada. And also I'm trained in basic garment sewing as well. Our second team member is my husband and VP, Daryl Shire, and he is an industrial millwright, electrical apprentice, and also the fabrication and working wizard, as I call him. And finally, but not least, our one of my favorite members, sorry, Daryl, is our VP of QA testing, and that's Duke. Duke has a lot of rigorous testing experience, and he's very highly skilled in shredding, ripping, and tearing, so all our products go through rigorous testing. So what is the opportunity for Galaxy Customs? Basically, automotive interior design and upholstery is unfortunately a dying trade. There is no schooling in Canada at all, and 40% of upholsterers are actually over 55 years. Few upholsterers specialize in hot rods, customs, and basically old vehicles, and that's what we specialize in. Vintage purses is another aspect of the business, and they can be expensive, difficult to find, and they don't really wear well, so you don't really want to be using them every day. The target market, the total market is 542,000 people, and that's actually a worldwide market that I'm looking at, and that market is your retro, anyone that's into the retro community, basically. And 52,000 is the North American market, and 4,000 is my target market, which is the Canadian market. And my ideal customer is someone that they don't have to necessarily live the culture, but they have to enjoy and appreciate retro purses, accessories, and also anyone that has a vintage vehicle that needs repolstering. And our solutions, basically, I am the only female in Ontario that has been trained in this upholstery school in the US. I am actually one of two in all of Canada that went to this particular school. It is very difficult to find schooling, so a lot of upholsterers are homegrown. They actually go through an apprenticeship period, which I have as well, a slight period. Also, we specialize in classic cars, hot rods, customs, although it's a little bit more of a niche market, but it's something that I'm really passionate about and love. And then, of course, our purses are retro-styled and inspired by classic cars and also mid-century styling and shapes. Okay, so looking at our market analysis, my market in particular is vending at classic car shows and going to different types of vintage and inspired events, and that's mainly during the summer, of course. And social media is another big part of it, online as well, having an online store, and that would be more for the purses than for the automotive interiors. Another aspect is also me sponsoring vintage events in and around Canada. And some marketing objectives. Basically, for me, it's attending a lot of car shows and any types of vintage events that are in the area, making sure that I'm doing those regular social media posts to get people excited about my product, and also to boost my brand awareness. So who is Galaxy Customs? And when they hear Galaxy Customs, they know, oh yeah, that's that girl who does sparkly stuff. And the alliances, I have a strong relationship with individuals within the community, the vintage retro pinup community. So just to cultivate that and keep that growing strong. Also, I'm a member of the Canadian Bombshell Beauties, which is a pinup retro group of ladies, and we basically are a group that aspire to talk about just sharing our love of vintage and going to different events. And in terms of the primary activity, also vending at car shows and vintage festivals as well. So looking at our competitive analysis, for the purses and accessories, we strive to have a little bit slightly higher quality than our competitors, but not to be so highly priced as well. So more of a moderate to high pricing. For the automotive, our quality will be also mid to high, and in terms of pricing, I would say a little bit more on the mid-range. So basically, our competitive advantages are that we're a member of the vintage community and have a lot of contacts. I have the specific training in automotive upholstery. Our designs are custom, and we prefer to do it that way so that people can get exactly what they want. And we also specialize in classic cars. So in terms of traction, or basically, excuse me for a second. What we've accomplished to date. So in January, we were successful in doing regular social media posts and gaining attention from people. 16% of our sales were purses and custom items, while 84% were upholstery. In February, we met our goal that we set out in our business plan to book 3 vending events, so we have done that. We also exceeded our sales for that month exceeded by our projection by 66%, which is awesome. In March was our launch of our purses and accessories, and we did that at Motorama, which was a very large custom car show in Toronto. And there I was able to network with many individuals and have made potential clients as well. So looking at our business model, pricing strategy, for the purses in particular, we're looking at a cost-plus pricing strategy. The upholstery is also a cost-plus, but we are also including an hourly shop rate in that, and that shop rate will increase based on experience as well. In terms of our process, for the upholstery, the custom orders are placed via phone or basically in person, and then I book them in. I try to book them in no more than 3 months out so that I'm not too swamped with work and I can actually finish things in a timely manner. And purses and accessories are sold online, also going out and vending as well. In terms of financials, we are projecting for our first year to have sales of $41,000. Expenses will be $17,543, and our net profits will be $23,507, and that is before taxes. For our second year, we're projecting $65,900 in sales. Our expenses will be $30,629, and that does include a salary draw, a monthly salary draw, and our net profits will be $35,272, again, before taxes. In terms of the grant investment and what we are planning to do with that, looking at some more professional website development would be lovely. Also, we are planning, because a lot of the car shows are, basically they're all either further away, so it'd be nice to have a mobile store or even somewhere where I could have my sewing machine and I could actually do some sewing on site as well. So to do a conversion of an existing trailer that we own, and also to purchase a straight stitch industrial machine, which I need for my purses. Just some of our products, we do, like I mentioned, automotive interiors and also purses. So just some examples of automotive stuff and general Our purses, this is a purse right here that also is part of my collection. And then just some random custom designs. And just our contact information. So thank you very much, everyone, for having me and for allowing me to tell you a little bit about my business. And thank you very much to Small Business Center for setting this up.
Why don't you stay up here with me? I'm going to have her stay up here with me because I think so. This is your chance. So get your phones out, and if you've got questions, you can stick it in there if you don't want to shout it out. But I think we're also going to make it open forum as well. Sorry, as I hit you. That's some cool stuff. Don't you agree? That's really cool stuff. I think I could pull that off. I think I could pull that off. Anyway. All right, so do we have any questions from the crowd before I go here? I know I've got a couple on here. I'm seeing a question from the very back there. Oh, you'd like a business card, is what you're saying. There you go, you've got a customer. Yeah. All right, any other questions from the crowd? I see another hand way back there.
Great. That's actually an awesome question. So when I purchased my first classic car, that was 2015. It's a 1950 Dodge Coronet Club Coupe. So when I, my husband laughs at me. So when I purchased this vehicle, my husband was working on it, and the idea to do upholstery really came to me then, because I thought, well, I can sew, so why can't I do upholstery? And then I had a brilliant idea. Well, obviously, I want a matching purse for my upholstery. Who doesn't? No? I do. So I did see a gap in the market because a lot of upholsterers, most of them don't design purses. And it's nice that the men can spend all the money on their interior, but what about the ladies? We want to look fancy in the fancy interior, so that is exactly how that came to about. And I am the only one that I'm aware of in Canada that is doing that, so yeah.
That's fantastic. I've got a couple questions for you here. Okay, so how much would a purse sell for, like the one on display, as an example?
So this particular purse is, it's $100 for this purse. They all vary.
They vary.
Yeah.
I should really I'm going to grab the other microphone in a second. But then another question was, how can you scale growth with a small market size of 4,000 people? It's a good question.
Yeah, that is actually a great question. And because the purses are actually, especially with the purses, with the automotive interiors, it's really difficult to branch out of Ontario, Canada, because there's a huge market in the US for automotive interiors. But the purses definitely have a growth potential outside of Canada and also worldwide. If you're looking at the UK, like Australia, all those countries, rockabilly, all that stuff is very, very big. Huge markets. I go to a festival every few years. It's called Viva Las Vegas, and it is a worldwide. It's basically an open market because you've got people from all over the world that come there. So that is our future goal, is to be able to vend at a location like that, which would give us access to that worldwide market, and also with online, you have easy access. So that's how we're seeing in terms of our growth.
Okay, I've got another question here. Do you see any major challenges in sourcing materials cost locally and efficiently?
Yes, that is a very big challenge, especially since my business concentrates on what we call metal flake vinyl, sparkle vinyl. There are no Canadian manufacturers, unfortunately, for this material. I have considered sourcing overseas because the cost is quite good, but unfortunately the quality is not. So I have decided on a supplier out of California, just because the quality is really good and I can still get it at fairly good pricing. I can also go through my upholstery channels, but unfortunately, at over $100 a yard. That's not really it's just not attainable pricing, and I would not be able to make a profit on my products because they'd be far too expensive.
Okay. Somebody keep me on time here too. So a couple questions just talking about what do you foresee expanding into, different lines or products?
So with the car, the automotive it's kind of difficult to say because really I'm just doing interiors, but I could expand into boats if someone wants their boat sparkled. I don't know, maybe. Airplanes are another really big market, or can be a big market as well. So boats, planes, I am concentrating on classic cars for a reason. It's because I enjoy it, and that's what I really wanted to do. But yes, I can expand in the automotive, and with the purses, it's whatever I think of. I'm designing these purses, so I actually am inspired by vintage design. So one of the purses that it's actually a bag that I'm looking at coming out with is an airline bag. Remember those old airline stewardess bags? You can't find them anywhere, and they're really, really expensive. So I'm hoping to design something like that. Carry-on luggage in general. So looking at gaps in the market where people are not actually making these products, and trying to fill those gaps with some really unique products. And also remembering that I do custom. So someone can come to me and say, Anna, I want this. Someone wanted sparkly slippers. Okay, I can do that. So a lot of the things that I design are actually one-offs that I've never done before, but it's basic same principles in terms of designing and sewing.
Awesome. Do I have time for one more, Sarah? One more question. So I'm in control, so I get to choose the one here, but there's lots of questions up here. So you're going to be here afterwards, right? So you can still come to her and ask her your questions. But with 85% of your sales coming from automotive versus purses at a 4,000 target market, how do you get the cars to you? Do you go to the cars? How do you hit that market?
So that's a good question. And if you look at the percentage of automotive, so when I was looking at, when I did that cost breakdown, you have to remember automotive interiors are far more expensive than purses. So that's why you're seeing that 85% versus 16%. So that's one reason. In terms of actually gaining into that market, I have very good relationships with a lot of local car clubs. They all know me. Just being in the culture for as long as my husband and I have been in the culture, people know who we are, they know of us, and it's word of mouth. I have one customer right now that I'm working on his vehicle. It's a very well-known vehicle, and he just keeps telling more and more guys because they know his car. Most people know his vehicle in Ontario and also in the US. So he just tells people, and because people trust him and know him really well and know he does good work, they're like, oh, okay, well, then Anna can do my interior. So a lot of it is word of mouth, just because that's how the industry works. So upholsterers, we don't really have to do a lot of advertising. Our advertising is our work. So.
Awesome. Give her a round of applause. That was awesome. Thanks, Anna. Good job. All right, next up I have Odette Assidois from Beauty of Wigs. So come on up, give her a hand.
Good evening, everyone. All right, so my name is Odette, as you already know. Before I get into my presentation, I would just like you all to take a moment and think of a time when you came across someone and thought, wow, they have very beautiful hair. Think about not having to worry about how to style your hair in the morning, not having to fuss, not having to get your dead ends trimmed, not having to get your roots touched up, not having to worry about covering up your grays. That is what Beauty of Wigs is there for. I create one-of-a-kind, customized, unique hand-sewn wigs. And now I am trying to venture into creating a medical, customized, hand-sewn wigs for women with hair loss condition. All my life, I have loved getting my hair done. I have loved changing my hair. My mom used to always do my hair for me, and I would always play dress up and put on one of her wigs. And if I couldn't find a wig, I would put a skirt over my head and pretend like it was long, luscious hair. 6 years ago, I made my very first wig by watching a YouTube video. Since then, as I mentioned, I've been creating customized, unique, hand-sewn wigs. My business idea is to, as I mentioned, to create wigs for women going through chemotherapy that has resulted into hair loss or those who have alopecia. My wigs are meant to mimic a natural hairline. They are made to give an alternative, give a sense of security, and also boost confidence. I am very excited to finally blend my love for making wigs with my passion of helping others. And it also makes me extremely happy when I create a wig, and that is exactly how I want everyone who wears one of my units to feel happy. Wigs have been around for centuries, but back in the day, it was very secretive. The perception was if you were wearing a wig, you had something to hide. But now, exactly the opposite is true. Wig is a form of empowerment. It is no longer a secret. My vision for beauty of wigs is to make the woman wearing one of my units feel beautiful, alive, and like their most natural self. I am sure many of us have either been directly or indirectly affected by cancer. We know the impact that this disease has on someone's emotional health, especially women. We tend to have a tougher time dealing with the effects hair loss has on our self-esteem. A wig can make a difference in how they feel, something that can be crucial to emotional health. And although losing your hair can be devastating, my goal is to provide a fun alternative, a wig that looks natural enough that it softens the blow of losing your own hair. I use all human hair to create my wigs, as well as a hair piece called a lace closure, which is currently on the screen. These closures are unique in which each hair strands are tied onto a piece of lace. The lace is either beige or brown to help match different skin tones and scalp, hence making it look natural. There are 3 different types of closures. So the lace closure, a lace frontal, and a 360 lace frontal. All these closures allow for diverse parting styles. And through direct sales, clients will be able to purchase ready-to-wear customized hand-sewn wigs online, which they can then bring to their hairdresser to get it cut and styled to their preference. The hair industry is a $10 billion industry that has seen consistent growth over the past 2 decades. There is no signs of it slowing down anytime soon because there's countless demand and endless supplies, which makes it a great investment. And the major key players in the hair industry are India and China. In India, women grow their hair by the ponytail and donate it as a Hindu religion practice to the temple. The temple then sets up a hair auction, factories bid on the hair, and the temple reaps 100% of the profit to put back into the service upkeep and community outreach. China is the #1 exporter for raw human hair, and that is due to its population, availability, and cultural tradition. Human hair are becoming as fast as common as lipstick in the beauty world. They remain the only beauty product growing off of the productive capacity of someone else's head. And on average, human hair can range anywhere between $250 to $4,000 per ponytail. Human hair can have a lifespan of over 3 years because it has never been chemically processed. Now, the difference between human hair and synthetic hair, which is the type of wigs that you would be able to purchase at a Halloween store, for example, is the lifespan, the quality, and the versatility. Synthetic hairs have never been alive. They remain as is. They have poor heat resistance. They cannot be dyed, curled, or bleached the way that human hair can. A good synthetic hair can last 1 to 2 months compared to human hair, which lasts much, much longer. The local competing pricing for synthetic medical wigs range from $50 to $700 Canadian, and for human hair, it ranges between $250 to $3,000 Canadian dollars. But none of these wigs are handmade. All of them are machine made, which shows the difference between Beauty of Wigs and the local market and what they have to offer. My business will target women between the ages of 35 to 65 years old in medium to high income household within Algon region and London. The price of Beauty of Wigs, medical wigs, will range from $1,000 to $2,000 Canadian dollars, which will include the raw human hair, one of the lace closures, labor and production costs. And I spend approximately 10 to 12 hours creating each individual wig on the appropriate mannequin head size, which ranges between 21 to 25 inches. So this one, for example, is 23 inches. And this mannequin head is 21 inches. I don't want the wig to drop, so. In order to get the business off the ground, I will need approximately $6,000 in order to get it operating. Funding will hopefully come through the grant as well as through personal savings. With these funds, the startup costs will include purchase of human hair from my supplier, creating an informative, cost-effective, and user-friendly website. Now, my website will offer services such as tips on how to care for your wig unit so that it can last you a very long time, as well as giving tips on how to install and style the wig yourself. A large portion of the startup costs will also go towards advertising and marketing in order to generate and maintain clientele. I anticipate a revenue of $4,000 in the first year, as most of my resources will be put back into the business in order to bring awareness to it. In the second year, as a more established business, I am aiming to earn $20,000 in revenue. I am also currently involved in the cancer community as a volunteer at Victoria Hospital in the Cancer Center. And this helps me be a part of the community that I will be catering to. Maybe some of you may have guessed, maybe not, but yes, this is a wig that I am currently wearing. I created this specifically for this presentation. And I can actually show you. In order to just install it, I put hair gel actually. So it makes it very easy to take off. It can be done with water, but because I'm a pro, I know how to do it without water. But you have to be very careful because you don't want to rip any of your real hair. Okay. Ta-da! Thank you. Thank you. So this is the lace frontal. It is 13 inches in width and 4 inches in length. And as you saw, obviously you can style it a lot of different ways. You can do a side part, you can do a middle part, you can put it in a ponytail, whatever you prefer. Sorry. I also make sure to put an elastic band on all of my wigs to make sure that even on the windiest day, your wig does not go anywhere, okay? Oh, this is the lace closure. So it is smaller than the first one. It's 4 inches in length and 4 inches in width. I hope I have it on right and it's not crooked. I pre-style it to a side part to my left because that's my favorite part. But you could also do a middle part, or you could also part it over here, put it all back, put it in the ponytail, whichever. Thank you. And then lastly, this is the 360 closure, which goes all around the entire hairline of the perimeter. This can be put up in a ponytail, part, whichever. All in all, I would like Thank you all for your time. And remember, Beauty of Wigs is meant to empower because not all superhero wigs wear capes, some wear wigs. Thank you.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much. Oops, sorry.
Thank you.
So, like, I gotta ask, like, how much would I get for my hair? I mean, that's gotta go for some money in some places. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd get
I'll
a
grow
discount.
it long.
You'd get a discount.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. That's great. Well, look, why don't we open up the floor? Thank you. That was fantastic. Questions from the floor before I look to my phone. Hello, right there. You.
Yes, so you can get a different color. There's different types. You can get ombre, brown, black. But the good thing about these, and that is why it's so important that all of my wigs are made with human hair, because you can bring it to your hairdresser and they can color it exactly the way you want. You can bleach it to blonde if you'd like, whatever color you'd like, and then cut it. You can even create bangs if you wanted, but if you want something already done, then yes, you could purchase the color as is. You're welcome.
Fantastic question. Any other questions from the floor? Oh, yes.
Sourcing your material, is that within Canada or outside of Canada? Human hair is certified naturally.
Yeah, that's a great question. So it is sourced in either in India or in China, but as of right now, I am looking to work with suppliers from India so I can cut out the middleman and save money that way.
Great question. Any other questions from the floor? Yeah, we got one right here.
For right now, yes, but in the near future, as I expand, and I would like to also create wigs for kids, as well as for men, creating toupees or whatever the case is that they're looking for. But for right now, yeah, women.
There was a question here online, so a couple ones, so I'll tie two together. How long does a typical wig last, and do you have warranties on your wigs?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't have warranties, but that is definitely something to look into, especially for the community and for the people that I'm creating wigs for. And wigs, as long as maintained, it can last, as I mentioned, anywhere 3 to even 5 years. So even though you're spending a lot of money at that time, the longevity of it, it makes it a good investment because you'll have it for a long time and it becomes a part of you as opposed to a hat or a scarf or whatever the case is.
Any other questions from the floor before I pick on more of these ones? All right, so there was a really good question here. It says, do you work with insurance companies to cover the cost of the wig?
Yeah, that is a great question. Right now, I am not working with insurance companies, but that is definitely something that's part of the plan to work with insurance companies because it is a medical wig. So wherever you can save money, that's a bonus, right?
And another question, if you have a question, throw your hand up, but I'll just keep asking these ones. Do you repair or provide any kind of maintenance service for wigs, or do you just create them?
Yeah, so I do also offer maintenance service, not necessarily repair, but yeah, not necessarily repair, but I do offer maintenance tips as well as maintenance service and tips, but unfortunately not repair because these lathes, they are very delicate, so it is very hard. If you make a mistake, it is very hard to fix it. So that's why I spend a lot of time making sure that it's done right the first time.
Another question was, is there government support that the government gives for people that maybe are going through cancer and that to help them access something like this?
To be honest, not that I'm aware of. I've not. I would hope so, but unfortunately, I'm not aware of that.
Okay. And then how many more questions can I do here, Sarah? 2 more, awesome. So where and how do you plan on advertising?
Yes, so I plan on creating an informative website with a lot of content, as well as being active in social media. I also plan on hopefully having some of my wigs at the hospital where I currently volunteer. Luckily, I volunteer in the wig room, so it kind of helps me branch into it. So it would be a lot of online promoting, a lot of social media promoting, and as I mentioned, creating the very informative website as well.
So I think the last question that I'm going to pick on is, how do you size somebody who maybe isn't here, that you have their head? How do you get them to size their head so that when you send them their wig, it doesn't kind of flop over their eyes?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's something that I thought about for a long time. So I will be, in terms of the content that I will offer on my website, I will also do like video tutorials in terms of showing how to measure your head. It's very simple. All you need is a measuring tape, and you just go around and you can tell. I have, for example, a 21-inch head, so it's very easy to figure that out. So based on that, they can let me know, and then I would use the appropriate mannequin head to create that wig.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Give her a round of applause, everybody. That was fantastic. All right, so next up, I'm happy to introduce Dr. Brittany Dunlop from Head to Tail Chiropractic.
Go away. Come on, up. Come on, up. Up. Good girl. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Brittany Dunlop and co-founder Austin of my company, Head to Tail Chiropractic. I do have a time cap today, so I'm just going to dive right in. We'll go right into the executive summary today. There is a market demand for alternative healthcare services for animals, which has grown exponentially over the last decade. It's now recognized by consumers, the government, and the health insurance industry as an essential component for all animals' healthcare. A critical component in fulfilling this need are chiropractic doctors. Can you sit? I know. I am a current graduate of the Canadian Memorial Chiropractic College and the Veterinary Chiropractic Learning Center. I provide patients with a natural and drug-free healthcare services with a focus on musculoskeletal care. My goal is to help animals achieve and maintain their optimal health. I currently operate out of Elgin Animal Hospital, just over on Sunset Road, as well as doing barn calls for my equine patients. Yes, I do adjust horses. I have developed strategic alliances with complementary healthcare providers, such as vets, equine and canine massage therapists, and farriers to help build my business. Head to Tail Chiropractic as a company. I'm going to start with my promotion video, and I'm hoping it plays. Hello, I'm Dr. Brittany Dunlop with Head to Tail Chiropractic. I am an animal chiropractor located in St. Thomas, Ontario, and I'm here to help animals with certain musculoskeletal issues. There are many benefits to chiropractic care, including enhanced performance, better range of motion, decreased pain and stiffness, and a better quality of life. These treatments are not intended to replace regular veterinary services.
but can be used to complement the overall care and agility for better pet and athlete health. There are many different reasons to bring your animal to a chiropractor, whether it to be achieve excellence in the competitive field for your canine or equine athlete, or reduce pain and improve mobility for your family pet. Whatever your chiropractic needs, Head to Tail Chiropractic offers thorough, skilled, professional animal chiropractic care for your beloved pets and athletes. If you have any questions about animal chiropractic or need to book an appointment, please send us an email or give us a call and we'll hear from you soon. So what is animal chiropractic in general? It's a field of animal healthcare that focuses on the preservation and health of the neuromusculoskeletal system. Nerves will control everything that happens in your body, as well as your animal's body. Anything adversely affecting the nervous system will have detrimental effects, and that will resonate throughout the entire animal's body. The spine is a very complex framework of bones, which are called vertebra, ligaments, muscles, and nerves. If the movement and biomechanics of the vertebra become dysfunctional, they can interfere with the performance of the nerves that are branching off the spinal cord that go to all of your muscles and organs. As this occurs, your animal can lose mobility, resulting in stiffness, tension, pain, and organ dysfunction. Additionally, when normal movement is affected and left unattended, it will ultimately impact your animal's entire well-being and quality of life. The goal of an animal chiropractor is to restore function and mobility to the compromised vertebra in effort to reestablish neurological transmissions. This allows the body to perform at its optimal potential. Chiropractors, we use our hands to identify areas of restriction. Once identified, we apply a precise thrust through that joint to immobile anatomical structures. This treatment restores normal motion and removes any neurological interference. So after that anatomy lesson, we basically put a small, quick force through the spine and joints to realign the vertebra and relieve pressures on the nerves pretty much and help with any pain the animal's having. So the organization of my company, I'm the owner and operator, co-founder Austin here. That's so far. I'm hoping to expand eventually. I graduated with 2 degrees from Wilfrid Laurier University, and then I headed on to my doctorate at Canadian Memorial Chiropractic College, where I became a human chiropractor. After 3 full licensing exams, I became that chiropractor, and of course, after 8 years of school, she might want you to come grab her. Are you getting tired? I know. It's exhausting. Go on, go see him. And of course, after 8 years of school, I just had to take another year to complete my veterinary spinal manipulation program, becoming a certified animal chiropractor. Chiropractic doctors and vets with a veterinary chiropractic license exist across the entire region. In private practice, animal hospitals, specialized animal healthcare centers, and the increasing rise in the number of veterinary chiropractic doctors has triggered a wave of government legislation. This increased legislation will benefit my practice. As I meet the qualifications, it will enhance my credibility with potential owners and patients. With the increased demand and more doctors graduating from the animal chiropractic field, creating a niche will be important. I'll be targeting incomes of $50,000 plus who are seeking alternative and complementary care for their animals. Into my competitive analysis, yes, there are other animal chiropractors in the area. Couple in London, actually one in Elmer. So it is out there. What sets me aside from my other competition is that I am a licensed chiropractor and animal chiropractor. So not just a vet, I am a chiropractor as well. And I treat both equine and canine patients. So there are some chiropractors out there who are only treating dogs, some are only treating equine patients. I do all the above. I've even treated a ferret and a guinea pig. I am young, I am ambitious, I am a young entrepreneur, and I'm already practiced as a human chiropractor. I am focusing on areas not just limited to Elgin County. I was in Chatham last week doing barn calls. And I'm also able to cross-market with my immensely successful human practice. Node Chiropractic Clinic, if any of you needed adjusted. So my practice, as I said, will be located at Elgin Animal Hospital, and I'll share the space with veterinarians, which creates a hub for healthcare for animals. The industry that I'm in. The Veterinary Chiropractic Learning Centre of Canada currently lists 121 animal chiropractors registered in Ontario alone. Ontario Animal Chiropractic market is a new and growing market. As per Canadian Animal Healthcare Institute, in 2018, there's an estimated 8.8 million cats and 7.6 million dogs. And in over a decade, cat and dog ownership have increased by about 10%. The compound annual growth rate of the veterinary healthcare market is 4.6%. The Canada veterinary healthcare market accounted for $5 billion in 2017. Now, all these stats are for vets in general, so animal chiropractic, I've kind of brought it down to a smaller amount. So it's a very small industry. There are no companies that have dominant market in the industry, and most animal chiropractic businesses have successfully stayed in practice by associating themselves with a successful veterinarian practice, which I have done. The local market, the geographical area of my local market includes Elgin County, London, Southwest Oxford, Middlesex, and any barn I can get to in basically the span of an hour and a half. According to those previous statistics that I stated, dog owners at 41% ownership would make approximately 93,000 owners in this area. There's also statistically over 13,000 horses in the local market. So bringing that down to 1% of the veterinary market being chiropractic care, the accessible market is over $700,000 a year. Currently, there are 9 competitors in the Grand region, with only 2 treating both equine and canine. My key marketing strategy is being an active member of Elgin community, providing friendly holistic healthcare services to help potential patients achieve their optimal health. I will target health-focused animal organizations and associations to generate new patients, and I will be speaking to pet stores, grooming facilities, farriers. Being known in the community is key to driving my referral sources. A consistent visibility, marketing, and partnership program will be integral to gain exposure. And I'll be offering free holistic information sessions to interact and engage the community and inform them of chiropractic care for animals. So $5,000 will be needed to get my business growing. Funds will hopefully be coming from this competition. I have a lot of student debt behind me. All money spent will be going back into the community, which is nice, to help me with marketing. Thank you, Established Media. Potential to hire more staff, again, another chiropractor, secretaries, et cetera, to help treat my patients. There we go. And sponsors, thank you to all of our sponsors for this business presentation tonight. Thank you to Established Media for offering an amazing advertising package, and who has already put hard work in creating an amazing logo for my business, which it'll be revealed on the next slide, so I'm quite happy about that. To Libro Credit Union for fulfilling all banking needs for businesses in the area. Van Pelt's Business Solutions, who I will be able to print all my marketing material with. The St. Thomas District Chamber of Commerce, who already has been helping me spread the word on my business through local meetings and events. The Atrium for providing amazing office space and a hub for where we can all come together. And to our online company, I saw you earlier, who can provide businesses with secure and reliable, affordable web hosting and teach you how to own your own website and content, which not a lot of people know about that. So yeah, to all these sponsors who, if I win, it'll help put my business ahead. So projection, opening an animal chiropractic clinic has been a dream of mine since enrolling and becoming a chiropractor. Head to Tail Chiropractic officially opened July 1st, 2018, and over the last several months, I've actually conducted over 40 new animal chiropractic patients, with half of those becoming regular patients. I have set sales goals and recently incorporated my company last month. So my company is ready and it's set, and now it's time to start growing. I want to thank you for all coming tonight and ask that you please vote for me to help me reach my goals in 2019.
Great All right, we're gonna share a mic here. I mean, you already answered the gerbil question. I said I have a hamster. Yeah, I actually crushed it growing up. It was bad. Anyways, you couldn't help him. You couldn't have helped him at all. Okay, so we got some questions on here. I see a lot of questions. Questions from the floor. I'm going to start with the floor first. Hands flying up. No, good. Okay, so cost for like a pet. How much would it cost to actually give a treatment to, say, like that dog that's over there?
Yes. So, well, that dog I treat for free because she's mine. But, so your initial exam for a canine patient would be $90. That would include a gait analysis, like a thorough examination, physical examination. And again, it is actually more for me to treat your dog because they can't tell me where the pain is. So I have to go through and assess the entire animal from paws to elbows to knees to tail and kind of figure out where the pain's coming from. A subsequent treatment after the initial exam, it doesn't take as long because then I explain to the patient or the owner what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. That takes longer. So the subsequent treatment would be $65. Horses are obviously a little bit more. They're a little bit bigger and there's a little bit more risk involved. I don't want to get kicked. I've been knocked off. This is my bail that I stand on. So that's another probably question you're going to get is how do you adjust a horse? Well, I get onto this bail and I slowly go through the joints and feel how they're moving. And they're going to be $130 for an initial exam, and then $105 for a subsequent, plus any, basically the barn call fee for me to get out there, which I'm at a very competitive rate. I only charge one way, so I don't charge the way back.
So on the charging front of things, does pet insurance cover this stuff?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Yeah, so your pet insurance does cover this. We can't direct bill for it, but if you do have pet insurance for it, I would just give you a receipt. I am a registered doctor, so I have a registration number and everything. I put that on the receipt, and you would submit that to your insurance company, and then you'll get the money back, whatever it covers, 80%, 90%, similar to human care.
So I'm going to cover two questions in one. So does a vet need to recommend you to come in, and do you make house calls?
So yes, I do make house calls especially for horses because they can't come to my office. I do make vet calls or house calls for canine patients. I like to do it only if they can't come see me. So if it's a large dog who is older, a lot of hip issues, hip problems, trouble getting them in the car and stuff, I will definitely come out to see you. I have a patient right here who I go see Domi at home. And of course, if you can't get to me either, yes, of course, I will do house calls. I've been to London. I do barn calls, so if I'm out that way, of course, I can stop by. And no, you do not need a veterinary referral. I work with veterinarians, and if I feel the need that you need to be referred, you'll be referred back to your original vet. It's just similar to human chiropractic. You don't need a referral to come see us because we are doctors, so we can do the full treatment diagnosis ourselves without needing that referral.
So this is a good one. It says, other than pain, how do you know that your pet needs an adjustment?
Yes. So there's lots of signs to look for. So if your dog usually jumps up on the bed okay, and then all of a sudden, doesn't really want to jump up, or jumps off the bed okay, which I wouldn't recommend letting any of your dogs jump off the bed. Or trouble going up the stairs. If all of a sudden the dog's like, I don't want to go up the stairs, constant licking and chewing. There's tons of different signs. If all of a sudden, just change in behavior. A lot of agility dogs that I treat for that do dock diving and stuff like that, they'll have extension problems when they're diving off the dock, and the owners will realize when they need to be brought in. Or fly ball dogs, they're usually really, really strong on one side because they're always hitting the fly ball, the pad, on that one side and turning back to go. So just different temperament changes, and you should notice if you're the dog owner that your dog usually will do certain things, and they'll slowly start to change, and you'll say, hey, that's not normal. It's just like going to the vet too. You're saying that's not right, but it could be a musculoskeletal issue.
I have one last question. You're going to kill me for asking this. Have you ever adjusted a fainting goat?
A fainting goat?
A fainting goat. Yeah, like the kind of
I have yet to adjust a goat.
Oh, there you go. That's your challenge. That's your challenge.
So a fainting goat I have not, but yeah, if anyone has goats, I mean, their spines are very similar to that of a horse or a cow, and I'm up for it. So just give me a call.
That's great. Well, look, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. That was great. All right, that was fantastic. Thank you for putting up with my terrible jokes. So next up, Tanya. Oh, no, sorry, I lied. Tanya, your heart probably skipped a beat. You're thinking, no, it's not me. Okay, Rick, Rick and Fran Dunseith, Caps Off Brewing. Come on up, guys.
Okay. I'll stand on my tippy toes. Good evening, everyone. What an amazing event that SBEC has put on alongside these generous sponsors and amazing finalists. I've loved hearing everyone's stories. We are Fran and
Rick Dunseith from Caps Off Brewing Company. We're so excited to have been chosen as finalists in this competition, and we're thankful for the opportunity alongside these 4 other amazing businesses that are here. Our business is still a baby, and like any new, excited, nervous parents, we've done our research, we've nurtured this baby, and we can't wait to see it get up off the ground. So before we get too far into this, I want to just let everybody know that over there on the far side, our good friend Dawn with that amazing smile, there she is, she's got samples of our beer for everybody. So they're free, go afterwards, anyways.
but not during the next presentation. Okay, so a quick little background on how we got here. Before we actually moved to St. Thomas, we were here for just about everything. Craft beer, visits with friends, Y classes, you name it, groceries. So the next logical step was to move here, so we did. At the time, I was homeschooling, and a fellow homeschool mom, who now happens to be one of my best friends and is here tonight somewhere, Chris, she introduced me to fermentation. So being first-generation Canadian, I definitely know a little bit about fermentation. My dad makes the best wine that you'll ever taste.
Award-winning, I might add.
But this concept of making healthy foods and drinks using fermentation was new to me, and I jumped in with 2 feet. See, with Rick and I, anything we do with our whole heart, all in. So, quick little side story. Shortly after we first met and had gone on a couple of dates, Rick quite gently told me that he liked me, but he wasn't looking for a serious relationship. To which I replied, it's all or none, baby. So here we are, 17 years later, all in.
Yeah.
So back to this little button.
Thanks, guys.
So back to the fermentation. This crazy, very active ferment here. Rick was an onlooker of my crazy fermenting concoctions, and I think I forgot to mention that Rick has always loved craft beer. So as he's watching me turn tea and honey and alien-looking SCOBY into a delicious drink, or taking strawberries and honey and making wine, or almost moonshine, he says,
Well, if we can make all this stuff together, why can't I make beer? And that was the beginning of a beautiful journey for us. So I started out by buying pre-made Cooper's kits, making just beer kits. And you get to add a little bit of hops here and there, and I graduated into some more complex kits, where I actually got to steep some grains and get introduced to that, choose the hops I was gonna add to the beer, and I started making really good beer. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but it was delicious. So anyone who's followed us on YouTube or has been to our house in the last 7 or 8 years knows a little bit about how this got all started. But I wanted to get into all grain brewing, so I decided to grab an old cooler and retrofit it into a mash tun. I grabbed some old kegs, I turned them into pots, and I built myself a gravity-fed 3-tier brew stand.
some of you may not really know Rick, but if you do, you know that he's amazing. And he can quite literally make anything or do anything he puts his mind to. He'll go on YouTube or look on forums and manuals or books. He's never too proud to ask for advice from an expert. He then soaks in all that info and off he goes, so off he went.
So I bought a proper pot.
Or 2.
Yeah. I got creative with recipes and with grains, and I started just practicing and just changing things up and trying to develop my own recipes. And friends and family kept telling me, Rick, this is delicious. Like, you've got a talent for this. You need to be doing this as a profession or as a job. Now, for us, we just didn't know how that was going to look. But I really did know that I wanted it in St. Thomas or in Elgin County. That's where we wanted to have an establishment. So we finally found our space, and we've poured blood, sweat, tears, a little bit of money into licensing and equipment. And we've developed a space where people can come that we can sell our beer. But over the course of the last couple of years in this journey, it's become so much more than wanting to just sell beer. Through the years, people visiting our house, sitting around my kitchen table, playing cards, or out in my garage while I'm brewing beer, you know, we hung out together, we enjoyed each other's company, we drank the beer together, and it's that kind of environment that we want to bring to the Caps Off Brewing Company. You know, we want to have a place where everyone can come and feel welcome, comfortable, where old friends can reminisce, where new friends meet, and where local artists get to feature their artwork on our big wall that we've got for them. We selected it just for them. Anyways, there's going to be no Wi-Fi. I know. We want people to talk to each other. So we want people to enjoy each other's company, play a card game, play a board game. Maybe even have one of those retro tabletop, glass top arcade games.
Where would you find one of those?
Oh, I got one in my basement.
I missed the slide.
Yeah.
Okay, as we've been walking through this journey, we have done a fair bit of reflecting, and we have realized that every job and endeavor thus far that we've done either together or individually has been preparing us for this big one. Has it been easy to be a married couple, parents of 4 super social, active kids whom I homeschooled until very recently, and business partners? Nope. Our skill sets lie in different places, which sounds like a pro, and it is, but sometimes it makes it difficult to understand how the other person is handling or will handle a task or situation. That's where trust comes in. So this journey has definitely comes with its trials, its ups and downs, its days of thinking, what have we started? But it has also come with immense, I lost my place. But it has also come with immense growth and joyous days of amazing achievements, and even if faith kind of days. We have had to choose to make the decision to move forward each and every day. We are so excited to serve this community. And I love this quote right here, not this one, but I do love this one. But brewing started as a hobby. It was an impossible dream to think that we would ever have an establishment. Then we started to research, and it really did seem improbable. But then that passion just kept burning until pursuing the dream became inevitable. Some of you may be dreaming of opening a business here in this amazing city right now, and we want to encourage you to take the leap. We have had many people gently coaxing us to do the same. Sue and Jay Bolt are some of those people who may not even realize how much they encouraged us to take the leap, to follow our passion. So do it, take the leap, start taking steps, do your research, go sit down with Mike Kirk-Vliet, whose name I can actually pronounce, or one of the amazing business advisors at SPEC. And I wrote down mentors first because that's really what I feel that you guys are, but advisors works too, or master of the universe. Do more research, soul search, come chat with us. Let us be your sounding board for ideas. This community has been so supportive of us. Our friends, our acquaintances turned friends, our amazing kids, and all our family, even total strangers who recognize us on the street or online and tell us they can't wait for us to open, and we can't wait either. We want to give back and be able to do that for others.
So speaking of giving back, we were approached by a wonderful lady and longtime friend of ours, whom some of you actually might know, Kelly Franklin. She's with an organization called Courage for Freedom. And we've committed to producing a beer that most of the proceeds go to that cause and Kelly. So if you get a chance, check out Courage for Freedom and her cause.
She couldn't be here tonight, she was coming, but she's with a young girl, and that's who she works with, so.
Yeah. We also want to give back to this community by opening up a few employment spots. Now, realistically, we're not very big to start, so it's not going to make a huge dent in the unemployment rates in St. Thomas, but it's a start, like anything else. We also know that there's a huge homebrew community here in St. Thomas, and being that's how we got started, we want to give back to them as well. So whether it just be answering questions or helping them out, designing recipes or whatever, maybe even getting somebody come in and collab brew with us on our shiny new equipment. We recently had somebody reach out to us on social media and let us know this guy's actually now an award-winning home brewer, and he told us how thankful he was to have come across our YouTube channel. This was a long time ago. So this is what he put: before I brewed my first beer, I wanted to do some research and see what people were doing, and that's when I found you guys. You made great videos, and it really helped us on our way.
How awesome is that, right? We're really thankful to join the craft brewery industry and community. Natterjack and West Lauren, you should check them out. They've been a wealth of knowledge and amazing people to talk to and that have guided us. We have seen the economic impact that having multiple craft breweries in a town or city can have. Take London or the Blythe Bayfield area, for example. It becomes a tourist destination where craft beer enthusiasts want to go and tour more than one establishment. Maybe St. Thomas will be the next hotspot with a brewery bike tour. There's a business idea for someone. I'm not
As we
doing it.
mentioned, Fran and I have invested a fair bit of money into this business as expected. Now, winning this competition would mean that we could have a space where people could come and enjoy our beer and not have to bring your own chair or drink out of red Solo cups. So, no, but seriously, winning this package would be instrumental in our first year of business. Not only the grant money, but also the support from these amazing sponsoring businesses that would really set us up for success in our first year. Thank you guys, really appreciate your time.
That's awesome. Well, I'm thirsty.
So am I.
I'm kind of thirsty.
Right over there, bud.
Yeah, I was seeing that there, and I thought I'd give a.
That was a long walk
I gotta.
across, eh?
It's a long walk, yeah, and I gotta give a shout out to the people watching live because this is you gotta be here next year. You gotta be here. There's some tasters
They
there.
put it over there so I wouldn't get to it.
Is that-
With the injury, so I wouldn't drink it all.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Eh? So look, let's open this up to questions with the floor. Any hands? Questions? Yes, one way back there.
There you go.
That's awesome. I saw another hand over here. Did I see one more hand?
We're at 168 Curtis Street. Do you remember where Railway City Brewing used to be? Same building,
Across from the library.
across from the library.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's a big timber frame over the garage door,
And
and
we have a sign now.
we have a sign now. April 19th. April 19th. That is our first official.
Put that in the calendars. All right, other questions from the floor before I go to the online questions?
You guys have board games and other games and you want to entertain that sort of thing. What about
We're going to have lots of snacks, actually. We've partnered with. Yes, absolutely. So we've got a deal struck up with Carmichael Meats and Picard's. So we're going to have snack foods there packaged already, as well as with Harvest Eats here in St. Thomas, who's just around the corner from us. So we're developing a relationship with her and hoping that we can provide lunchtime food for folks. And anytime if you want to order something, have Uber Eats or whatever deliver your food to our place and come and eat and enjoy, by all means.
And it's okay with the health unit.
And it's okay.
Nice. Yeah, we've got another question right here.
There's no such thing as discounted beer.
Yes, that's a good answer.
That's awesome. Any other questions from over here? All right, I will go to some of the questions online. So, are you worried about scalability in your current location if and when demand increases or you need to increase output?
Concern? No. We anticipate outgrowing the space in a couple of years, but we also are able to collab or contract brew with other breweries as long as they're a microbrewery. So we've already established a few of those. So if it comes to it and we need to brew somewhere else so that we have bigger volume, we have that lined up. Do you?
Very good.
We're good? Okay.
So this is an interesting question. I don't even know if this is possible. It says, will you make gluten-free beer?
I'm working on
It's a real thing.
I'm working on developing a recipe that is actually really tasty versus some of the gluten-free beers out there right now that really don't have a lot of flavor. So,
So yes.
we're working on it.
All right, so another question. How do you plan to compete with the current market, Railway City, for example, which offers tours, host parties, etc.?
So we don't really plan to compete because we are different. Our environment's different, we're a smaller scale, and we're okay with that. As far as, there was something, tours. Our tour will be really short, so it won't take a lot of time. And the other thing, there was something
More
about,
time to drink beer.
there was something about rental of space, hosting parties, yes. So we would be able to do that still. It would be a smaller, intimate party, but we'll still be able to do it.
Nice.
I'd like to add.
Oh, yeah.
We're also, our grand opening is going to be the second weekend of July, or the weekend after the long weekend, and we plan on having live music, and as well as opening up our patio. So we're going to have a little small patio, like our little small establishment, out front, in front of the garage door with some picnic tables and live music. So, yeah. And sorry, I'm going to add to the competition. One of the things that really struck us when we traveled to Vancouver for a few months a couple of years ago was the community of brewers and how it is a community. It's not about competing with each other, it's about supporting each other. So there's a street in Port Moody, which is a suburb of Vancouver. There is 5 craft breweries right next door to each other. And they're all busy all the time, and they all help each other out. So it's not about competing, it's about supporting each other. Yeah.
Okay, I got another one here. I've got one more. Do you use local grains? Grand Rapids has a full street of craft breweries, outpacing local grain production. So local grains, I think, speak to that.
We've developed a relationship with BSG so far, so some of our grains do come from local suppliers. Again, as just getting started, we've needed to, team up with certain suppliers just to get ourselves off the ground and actually brewing. But the hope is in the future to actually develop relationships with local farmers where we can bring in local product.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's give them a hand here, guys. That was fantastic. Thank you. Great job, you guys. Great job. That was awesome. All right, Tanya. It's real this time. It's real. All right, so next up we have Tanya Davey from Davey & Davey Cabinetry. Give her a big hand.
Hello. I'm not really the best at talking in front of people, and this is really nerve-wracking, but I'm gonna try my best, because I'm used to, talking with customers every day, so I'll just pretend like you guys are a bunch of customers in front of me. Okay, so let's start out with who are we? So we are Davey & Davey Cabinetry. The company is myself and my dad. He's over there. He's not really good with talking in front of people either, but I'm a little better, so here I am. So we are located in West Lauren, right on the main strip there, so easy to get to. We're right off the highway if people are coming from, say, St. Thomas or coming from Chatham, London, etc. How we kind of came to the business is I didn't really like my current job, and we had talked over like Sunday dinners, like my dad's we have Sunday dinner every Sunday with the family, and we would I'd always be, complaining about my job, I didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. So I got a random text from him, and he said he had a proposition for me, and I was like, this is weird, like, what could he be texting me about? So I had been helping him with some projects that he had been working with for his separate business. He had been working on like big giant doors for a client, and I'd been helping with finishing them, like doing the sanding, painting, all that stuff, getting them ready before they go in. So he said he had been tossing something around for a while about carrying semi-custom cabinetry. He had been doing cabinetry on his own in his other company for about 30 years, so he's got lots of experience with that. So he at the time, he didn't have time to manage it alone. And since I wasn't liking my job, he's like, well, maybe we could bring that in. He already owned a building out in West Lauren, so he had his shop in one half, and there was lots of room in the other half, and it was already partially finished. So he asked me that, and it was around April, so we started kind of planning out, what did we want to call the company? And of course, he already knew right away what he wanted to call it, Davey & Davey Cabinetry, so it's our last name. So he asked me if I wanted to kind of take on the semi-custom side of stuff, because he wanted to slow down on doing the custom and focus more on doing helping with installs and stuff, since he is getting older and looking to retire, hopefully soon. So between when we talked about this in April and when we opened in September, I went around and I was making relationships with different cabinet companies. We started out with just the one. They're based out of Barrie. So I went there, met with them, went on a tour through their manufacturing facilities, got to know their product, and we came up with ideas for the space. I met with other suppliers for like countertops, hardware, so we could kind of have everything all in one space, since West Lawrence, kind of out there. Some people don't necessarily want to make the trip into London. We also decided to bring on like flooring, tile we deal with Centura out of London. So we set up the retail space, opened in September, or like a soft opening since we weren't completely done setting up. We service Elgin County and surrounding areas, so where we've been working mostly, we've done a little bit in London, we've done quite a bit in St. Thomas, and then out in obviously West Lawrence, Dutton, Rodney area. So this is kind of an example of something custom we did when we first opened, one of our first customers. And why do we do what we do? So my dad, like I said, he's been doing the custom cabinetry for about 30 years, and since I was gonna be starting to deal with the semi-custom, and I'd be coordinating installs, ordering, design, sales transactions, so I'm the one that would come out, meet with people, do in-home consultations. People can come to me. We have brought on, since we've become a little busy, we've brought on 2 full-time employees and we have 1 part-time employee. We deal with cabinets for kitchen, bath, laundry, mudroom. We also do closet and kitchen design, so even if people aren't necessarily getting cabinets from us, we're able to do design for them. We decided to bring on a couple extra companies for cabinetry, since the company we originally had, out of Barrie, Cabinet Smith, they didn't really have a whole lot of options, and we had people wanting a little more customizable. So we decided to bring in 2 other companies that are both based out of Winnipeg, so we try to keep it all Canadian. So we do the installation for that, and then with the countertops, we install laminate countertops as well, just since it does get expensive for the stone countertop companies to come out and install laminate when it's not that expensive of a product in comparison. We do leave the installing of the quartz and the granite to them, just because we don't have the ability to really carry around, heavy stones without breaking them. We carry hardware from 4 different companies, Eurofit, Richelieu, Winnick, and then we deal with McFadden's as well, so they enable us to get in like Bloom, which is what the companies we deal with use. We are also able to order internal parts for cabinetry, so say you want to put in like a spice rack inside, or you want to have one of those pull-out garbage cans or anything like that. We also brought on sinks and faucets and any plumbing related stuff from EMCO. And like I said, we brought in Centura, so people can pick out their backsplash while they're picking out their doors and their countertops, so everything's matching. This is an idea of a semi-custom we did. They just wanted to add on to their current kitchen. They just wanted to add in a pantry, and we kind of played around with the heights of the drawers since they wanted to be able to put their KitchenAid mixer in there. So with all those options, it does make it a little overwhelming for customers, so I will help them narrow it down, and we work within all budgets. So we've done something from a $5,000 kitchen all the way up to $20,000, $30,000 question. We want our customers to feel comfortable, so we offer, like I said, the free in-home consultation. Why do we do what we do? Like I said, My dad's been doing it for 30 years. He enjoys it. I've helped him with finishing and staining, painting throughout the years, and have 10 years experience with helping customers in different avenues in retail and in medical field. I have a passion for designing and redesigning spaces. We are able to bounce ideas off each other and combine our experiences. We love, like I said, to be able to bring all the aspects needed for redoing a space into one area so people don't have to do the shopping around. All right. This is another custom piece that we did recently for a customer out in Port Stanley. So why pick us to either do business with or the grant? We're passionate about what we do. We go above and beyond for our customers. We treat them as we'd want to be treated. Like if I have a customer coming in, I like to have a conversation with them, get to know them, get to know their likes, dislikes, what's important to them in their kitchen, for example. Like right now, a lot of people want drawers, so that's very important to them. And we'd like to use the grant, since we did bring on those other two companies, to expand our showroom and bring in their cabinets so people can kind of, touch, feel, rather than just having samples of the colors. And the advertising will help us get our word out more about our business, since we just opened in September. There's a before, during, after of a kitchen, and this is our mission. We help you create the kitchen, bathroom, laundry, or closet of your dreams from floor to ceiling with a small town friendly feeling.
That's fantastic. I haven't finished a whole lot of stuff, but I'm working on something in my basement right now. My wife came down and she says, "What the heck are you doing?" I'm refinishing this thing. She's like, "There's dust everywhere." So, yeah, it takes brains. Anyways, so questions for Tanya from the floor. Questions from the floor. I'm going to pick up a couple questions that I think I see here. So a couple questions. They're similar questions, but if your father is looking to retire in the near future, how do you plan to scale?
You mean like continue on with
Or
this?
continue, yeah.
Continue on. We've recently decided to hire my brother, who has experience from working with him for a long time. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, I got another question here. So how many custom jobs do you do in a month? What type of revenue does that bring in?
We're usually working on 2 or 3 things at a time. Not necessarily that they'd be done in that month, but we usually have a few things on the go at once. Revenue-wise, not as much as we'd like to, but we're doing pretty well.
Awesome. Okay, and then so another question here. How does your pricing compare to your competition, and how do you plan to compete against some of the larger businesses that are perhaps in the area?
Well, we know just from experience, we've had customers come in with quotes from other companies, and we've been able to come in at a lower price, and they are even carrying the same cabinetry that we are, so.
And another question here, how do you deal with office administration duties? So who takes care of that for your guys' business? You got a smile. I think I know the answer.
Me.
There it is.
I do a little, pretty much everything except the custom stuff I have a hand in. And even that I do a little bit of like finishing and stuff. I'm just not building it.
And it says, are you planning to hire more staff outside of the family in the future?
We already have 2 staff that aren't family. So if we get bigger, then yeah, definitely we're open to it.
Awesome. And I think that's it for questions, unless I have any questions from the floor. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. That was great. Ooh, yeah. All right. So this is the moment, folks. This is the moment. You have just heard from 5 fantastic people. Actually, well, you guys had 2 people that were fit. Anyways, we got 5 fantastic businesses here. It is that time to vote. So you've been using, some of you at least have been using this platform. So if you haven't yet, pull out your phone, sli.do, and the instructions are on that little thing that was on your seat. Sarah is actually going to change the platform, so there's going to be 5 business names on your phone. And it's ready to go, perfect. So we're gonna open it up for about 10 minutes. So you've got some time to think about this. You can talk amongst yourselves, you can make a big decision here, and then hit the submit button. If you are technologically, whatever the word is, we have on your actual seat, you can just put a tick box on that piece of paper, and if you don't mind just bringing it to the front desk, they will add that to the tallies. So we got 10 minutes, enjoy, get a beer, try some beer over here, there's cookies as well, and we'll reconvene soon. All right, can I get everybody's attention? We are about to announce the winner of our very first Ready, Set, Grow Business Challenge. And before we do that, 2 things. 1, I just want to congratulate everybody. You all did a fantastic job. A big hand for everybody. This is scary up in front of all you people. You're really friendly, but it's still scary up here, right? So they did a fantastic job. And I want to introduce Tara. She is the most fantastic person in the world. She leads the Small Business Enterprise Center here in town, and she is going to announce our winner now. So Tara.
I'd like to echo Jason's thought. All of the presenters, thank you for doing that. It is not easy. And I would also like to thank all of you for coming and supporting small businesses in St. Thomas and Elgin County. And now, the winner is, drum roll please, Head to Tail.
So you gotta love moments like this. Tara and I are like, so do we have like a check or something? Are we gonna do a check? There's no check. There's no check. But would you like to say a couple words? We're gonna cut you off for like a minute, though. Okay. Okay.
Oh my goodness, thank you everyone so much for coming tonight. I mean, there's my coffee baristas are here. I have my work staff here. It's just such a great support for everyone coming out, my work staff, my parents. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for supporting me through everything. I really want to keep this short, but yeah, I mean, I'm ready to grow my business, and your support means the world. So thank you.
All right, well, at this point of the show, I have one last final announcement. We're going to be sending a survey out. I know it's a survey, but please do it. Let us know how this was, what we could do different next year, and we'd love to hear from you. So everybody have a safe drive home, and thanks again for being here.